today's video, I wanted to talk to you about how to layer your makeup for perfect skin, and I specifically wanted to talk about your concealer wardrobe. What concealers should be in your kit, how to use them, what's best for your skin type and your skin's needs. Really how to get that flawless skin, especially if you have acne, wrinkles, pigmentation, dark circles, whatever it may be. When it comes to your makeup kit or collection, you really should have a concealer wardrobe. Concealer is the hardest working product in your kit and in your routine because it covers so well. Of course, sometimes your skin is different in the summer versus the winter color-wise, but you should also have a different concealer for when you're on the go versus when you want something super full coverage for a night out. So I'm going to give you a little tutorial, a little demo, and the lowdown showing you what order you should apply your cosmetics in and how you should apply them, as well as recommending some of my favorite brands, some of my favorite products, and favorite techniques to doing that. I've got some amazing cosmetics here. We got some Pixi Beauty, some Maybelline, you name it. So get out your makeup brushes and let's get started. So the first thing you want to do is make sure you start with clean hands. I am just using some hand sanitizer, and next I'm going to go into priming. The very first step to layering your makeup would be to start out with a base, which is your primer. There are different primers for different solutions, so depending on if you have acne, wrinkles, pigmentation, or whatever, you should probably go with what works best for you. But for me, I love these from Amazing Cosmetics. They're sold at Sephora, they're sold at Ulta, and they're sold online at amazingcosmetics.com. These are paraben-free and oil-free, so they are better for my acne-prone skin, and they also work wonders for aging skin or for sensitive skin. Priming kind of sets up the foundation for your entire look, and even with just a clear primer, my skin already looks better because it's filling in lines, holes, and wrinkles. When applying this, you always want to make sure to start at the center of your face and blend outward. And the reason we do this is because we generally get oiliest at the center of our face. I'm also applying the line smoothing primer. This is great at concealing lines and wrinkles, especially around the under eye area, which can be very delicate. What's also great is that it has these little metal balls on the tip. These are very cooling and help decrease puffiness, bags, and inflammation before we even get started with concealing or correcting. The second step is to color correct, and this should come after your primer but before your concealer. This is really just a way to neutralize any discoloration. For instance, blemishes or under eye circles. If you have redness or acne, use a green tone. If you have purple under eye bags or circles or dark marks, you should use a reddish or orangish color. Using a corrector allows you to use less of your concealer to create flawless skin. This is an Amazing Cosmetics dual-ended color corrector. It is extremely creamy. It also contains sodium hyaluronate, which is a derivative of hyaluronic acid, and hyaluronic acid is amazing because it really plumps and hydrates your skin and helps to retain moisture. It also contains vitamin E and cucumber extract to make sure that your skin is supple, and again, it doesn't contain any of those parabens or things that could damage your skin or health. I'm just going to dot this onto the areas I need. Again, depending on whether you have dark pigment, under eye bags, or acne, you should kind of dot on accordingly. But after I color correct, I'm also just kind of taking this onto the highlights of my face and even giving myself a little bit of a brow lift and a little lip lift, just by applying these to under the brow and the Cupid's bow area. I'm just blending out with a fluffy brush, and this preps us perfectly for concealer. So the third step is to conceal, and this goes over the color correction because the color correction kind of acts as that base, and this goes underneath foundation because the foundation is kind of the finisher. Concealer really is the hardest working product in the kind of skincare layering steps. This is what adds the coverage. This gets rid of dark circles. This covers up acne. This covers up blemishes, rosacea, capillaries, pigmentation, broken veins, you name it. Now there are many different concealers on the market. For instance, some have illumination to them if you want a bit more of a glow. Some of them are more hydrating if you do have very dry skin. Some of them are actually concealer sticks that are perfect for on the go. There are also some for illumination or hydration. This is a hydrating one that's more of a stick, so if you really have dry skin, this is definitely something you should look into. Or if you want something a little bit more luminous, if you're the kind of person who loves their highlight and loves that look of glowing skin, this is a great one that has a little bit of iridescence in it with a doe foot applicator, and this really gives you a glow underneath your foundations. Whereas I'm acne prone and I want something that looks a little bit more mattified and can be played around with a lot, there are other options as well. And of course, if you are someone who is definitely on the go or wants something quick and easy for your school, for your purse, and you don't need a brush or anything like that for this. But I'm just going to be using the Amazing Cosmetics Original Concealer. And what's great about Amazing Cosmetics is that this one line does have a no skin tone left behind motto, especially for those who are really light or dark on the spectrum. And I'm using two different colors to mix together to make my perfect shade. This concealer is extremely creamy and blendable, and it really melts into your skin. And that's what you're looking for with a concealer, is something that doesn't sit on top, but really melts in, so that way you can wear it with or without foundation. When I apply this, I'm only going to use a pin-sized amount. You can just dot this onto your face. So I'm just going to take this on a concealer brush and place this on any blemishes that are still showing through the color corrector. And if the color corrector is also still showing through a little bit, this will eliminate all of that. What's also great is that this concealer in particular has a very tacky texture, which means it's really going to stick to the skin, so that way when you put foundation over the top, it doesn't remove any concealer. I'm also striping concealer right here down my nose, a little bit underneath the brow and a little bit on my lip, because not only is this concealing, but it's also highlighting, and this really gives like an instant brow lift. It really makes my nose look straighter because sometimes noses can be a little bit uneven. It even gives this lip a much nicer pout. And as you can see, I still have a lot of concealer left over. I literally was just dotting this on because it blends so well. Also, when using your concealer brush, dot, don't stripe. If you stripe, sometimes you can get into a pore, but you kind of miss half the pore. Dotting it on actually kind of presses it in, kind of like a sponge would, and that really gives much fuller coverage, and because this concealer kind of blends out, it makes you look flawless. From there, I am taking this blending brush again, and I'm just going to blend and buff this concealer into the rest of my face. And I didn't even put much concealer on my neck. I'm literally just dragging this down my chin and jawline and just kind of blending it out. So that way it's seamless. There's no huge lines of differentiating color between kind of your chin and your neck. You know, you see some people and they're like, wow, you really are wearing a mask of makeup. This just kind of blending out technique makes sure that none of that happens. And so as you can see, even before and without any foundation or any tinted moisturizer, my skin pretty much looks flawless, and it's not cakey or anything like that. Once you have finished priming, correcting, and concealing, that is pretty much it for the coverage aspect. Now, if you are going to apply foundation, this is where you would do that. But because my skin is already looking so flawless, I am just going to apply a little skin hydration. So this is literally just a tinted moisturizer. I am using the H2O Skin Tint from Pixi Beauty. This is really just a tinted face gel, so it barely has any foundation or coverage because the concealing did all that for us. I'm just going to squirt a little bit of that out, and I'm going to apply this to my face. This is the Maybelline Dream Blender. It is a beauty blender on a stick, so you don't get your fingers dirty. It is amazing. And you can use this just on its own, but a pro tip is that if you do apply a little bit of your primer to your beauty blender to kind of wet it before, it really helps to make your foundation stay a lot longer. Once I have my beauty blender primed and prepped and ready, I'm just going to take a little bit of that Pixi Skin Tint, kind of wipe it around, and I'm just going to spot this onto my face. And I'm using kind of dabbing, stabbing motions. And this Pixi product has very lightweight coverage and a very lightweight feel. But whether you do foundation or tinted moisturizer, whether you use a brush or a sponge, you just want to blend this in. From there, it is extremely important to set. Setting your makeup ensures that not only does it last all day, but that it doesn't transfer. Because foundation and concealers are liquid and wet, we want to make sure to set them in so they don't go anywhere and they last literally all day until we take them off. Now, there are many setting powders on the market, but you want one that's going to set and kind of keep everything in. What I'm using is the Amazing Cosmetics Velvet Mineral Powder Set. This is literally phenomenal. I am just using a powder that is completely translucent. Using a large kabuki brush to apply this, I'm kind of dabbing it here in the middle, gathering a little bit here, and I'm just kind of pressing this into the skin. I'm not swiping, I'm just pressing. Because while this is still a little bit tacky, we don't want to move it anywhere. We just want to set it into place. Once that is on, you want to mist your makeup. Now, this setting powder is extremely velvety, and because it does have such small particles, it doesn't leave the face feeling cakey. So with this one, if you wanted to, you could completely skip this step. This one happens to be for Makeup Forever. This is the Mist and Fix, and what this does is really sets a spray onto your makeup and kind of takes away any of that powdery, cakey look. So if you do powder your face and it looks a little bit cake-alicious, this is how you get rid of that while setting it into place and making it last all day. MAC Cosmetics also has a great one. This is a great one. You just want to hold it about 6 inches away from your face and spray. From there, your look is complete. So guys, that is it when it comes to layering your foundation for flawless skin. I hope that these tips and tricks helped you, and of course if you have any other questions, feel free to leave them in the bottom comments below. I will actually be doing an Amazing Cosmetics giveaway, so if you do want to win your own concealer wardrobe, all the details will be in the bottom tab for that giveaway. I love you guys, I hope that this helped. If you have other questions, I do have my app, which is Cassandra Bankson on iTunes Store or Google Play, so check it out because it gets pretty spiffy. If you haven't subscribed already, hit subscribe, click the like button. We post new videos every Monday and every Thursday, so you can hang out in the magical land of makeup and acne. And I cannot wait to see you all in the next video and the bottom tab for the details on the giveaway. Love you guys. Bye.